Varnishing. Yuck. It's got to be one of the toughest jobs on a boat. As you apply the expensive slime, it can't help but go through your alleged mind that you will be doing it all over again in just a few months or it'll be all for naught. For me, the application of varnish is more like therapy than work. I well remember the days when we were cruising, anchored off a sandy beach, lovingly caressing the teak rail of my boat with a ham-sized paw, cupping some sandpaper, smoothing the surface for a coat of the golden elixir that turns a man's boat into his own piece of living art. I remember getting up in the morning, anchored in Maray after a 3-month crossing from Mexico to the Marquesas, then through the Tuamotus and on to Tahiti. In Papeete, I spent all my time running around in circles doing the clearance dance, and then I shopped till I dropped, or until my Visa card maxed out. It was almost like work. And then I saw my port rail, crusted with salt, and I could barely recognize the beautiful shining teak rail that it was the day I last varnished. For the next couple of hours I caressed the surface with some 220 grit paper, working my way from one end to the other. On occasion I'd hit a bad spot and whip out a little 100 grit, smoothing that spot where the anchor chain dropped a little too hard or where I bumped into a fuel dock in Cabo. Laying the varnish on is the epitome of the gratification process. Watching the somewhat dull surface all of a sudden come alive with a brilliance and color that only a teak rail of a sailing vessel can achieve. Laying it on and keeping a wet edge is an art that can only be achieved with time and infinite patience. Watching as the bristles of the badger brush laid down a smooth yet slightly wavy texture, and then the gravity and warmth of the sun smoothed that texture into a glassy brilliance. It's almost mesmerizing. I think a big part of what I enjoy about the cruising lifestyle is the way I feel about my boat as I enter a harbor. No matter how hard fought the battle to make it to a port, on arrival the sails are stowed, the decks are clear, and we always try to make it look as if we are just coming in from a day sail. One of the biggest joys of having a boat is having a vessel you are proud of. As I approach my boat in the dinghy, I love to look at the varnished rail and the way the sun glints off of it. Not because of how it looks to others. That doesn't mean much. It's what I feel inside. It's the way it makes me feel. That's what makes it all the more fulfilling. It's almost, but not quite, as good as I feel under sail.